Hey! No, down here! It's Leo Vader from Game Informer. Grounded, the miniature survival game from Obsidian, is Game Informer's latest cover story, and today I'm chronicling my experience hunting the most savage beasts the game has to offer, from smallest to largest, relatively speaking. Almost all of these creatures have their own armor sets, so as you work your way up, you can start using the materials you're getting to craft armor with higher defense and better perks, kind of Monster Hunter style. So to start with the smallest, aphids are the cute little green guys. Easy to kill, but hard to stomach the act of killing. Really adorable microscopic little things. Easy meat if you're that hungry. Weevils are also no real threat, and they'll give you parts to make a gas mask that'll come in handy later. Gnats are also weak, but hard as hell to catch. They seem to want to keep being alive a lot more than the others. You can use their fuzz to make a bow, which will make hunting any of this small game a lot easier. Mites are where we get a little dangerous. These guys work in large groups and they will attack you if they see you. But they're pretty tiny and they don't do much damage, and killing them is how you get mite fuzz to make arrows for the bow, so if you find a big nest of them, it can end up being pretty helpful. Ants are freaky. We're now getting to the creatures whose eyes turn red when they go into attack mode, which makes all of this so much creepier. They won't harm you until you harm them, or until you start establishing yourself enough with large structures around the area so they see you as more of a threat. Once they do, these guys can attack in groups and do real damage. There's one instance where my group retreated to our base being pursued by ants, but they just broke down the grass walls to get at us and tear apart our supplies. There are white ants as well, which are rarer and a little tougher and drop acid glands you can use to make rubber. Rubber you can use in bounce webs, which are handy little traversal aids you can build to help scale obstacles you're tired of running all the way around. Okay, so now we're getting to the ones that are really too large and upsetting to look at. Here's the stink bug. Now, stink bugs are actually named, and a lot of people don't know this, they're named after scientist Martin Stink. You want to keep these guys at range because they can spray a massive cloud of gas around them that can choke you out pretty quickly. So I recommend using a bow to stay far away, or if that's not an option, make that weevil nose gas mask I mentioned earlier to mitigate some of the damage. Ladybugs are big and like to mind their own business. They really remind me of cows at this scale, always grazing. These guys are some of the best armor I've seen in the game, but my god, they can take a lot of hits. You're gonna want better than the base tier of weapons to get these guys, though their attack patterns are pretty predictable and you can get through it if you're patient. You gotta be prepared with bandages and bring like a polearm weapon. Or if you can finagle your way on top of them, you can get a few free hits in that way. Finally, we have the one I've been dreading finding footage of most, the spider. These attack fast and will kill you in a heartbeat, especially without armor. These are late game enemies, so for a long time you'll be avoiding them and the webs around their layers, trying to find ways to sneak past them to get some of the rarer materials early. In another unexpected similarity with Monster Hunter, I once caught a spider fighting a ladybug, and much to my surprise, the ladybug won. Then I was able to swoop in and finish off the ladybug and get the materials from both corpses. The great part is, if you have a bow, you can craft lure arrows out of flower petals to try and force these kinds of conflicts before you can take on the big guys yourself. Or you can just use lure arrows to keep spiders out of your hair while you're exploring. So those are most of the insects I've found in the yard so far. It's a really interesting ecosystem to watch and find the ant hills and mite tunnels where all these bugs are nesting. For more on Grounded, find our in-depth discussion on the Game Informer show, and for more gameplay, check out our last video on a day in the life of Grounded. A bit more general look at the game there. Thanks for watching.